Hello and welcome back to Goofy's Chapter Reviews, and before we get started, I just want to give you the old well. It looks like I was correct. I used a little bit of future sight in the last chapter review, and I predicted that Boa Hancock, her Seraphim, I guess really was in love with Luffy. Before we talk about anything, I just want to talk about how I just said that. That was honestly more than 50% a joke that I said that, because as I explained, someone has to get fired for that. Am I right? Like, who designed the Seraphim to be just like them like that? Like, what's the point? Like, if they have free will to the extent that if the real Boa Hancock is in love with Luffy, then her Seraphim will also be. Like, if they have free will like that, you might as well not even create these bastards. Like, they're just a bunch of unruly little kids then. You know what? Okay, sorry. Let's go ahead and officially get this rolling. We're going to do 1090 and 1091 in this one. So, in 1090, the funniest thing ever, it just kicks off with Luffy talking to the Gorosei, the 5 elders. Luffy's on the phone and just like, hello, my name is Monkey D. Luffy. I'm gonna be king of the pirates. You guys need to get out of here, okay? Because I'm an emperor of the sea. You're trespassing. I claim this entire island, and we're gonna get out of here, and I don't care how many of you I have to beat up. Which is hilarious, because the entire, like, the Marines are just listening to him, like, they're just like, okay, can you tell us what's happening with York? And Luffy's like, she's knocked out. We took care of her. Don't worry about this. The thing that I'm telling you is the thing that you need to listen to, okay? And we have Dr. Vegapunk. We have all of his satellites. We're getting off this island. We don't care how many of you guys we got to deal with to get off. So they're listening, and of course Kizaru's there. So Kizaru jumps off the boat and he starts fighting with Sentomaru, which Kizaru's a weird guy. I can never really get a read on that guy, you know? Like, he's definitely a villain, like antagonist, not really villain. Like, he definitely wants to enforce the world government's will, but I don't know, there's stuff that he's not really saying, but he also kind of like gives off the impression that like he doesn't have anything deeper going on inside his brain. You know what I mean? Like, he's just a sleepy admiral that will do whatever it takes to honestly run the ones with anybody. I will say this about Kizaru. Every time I see Kizaru, he is ready to run the ones with anybody. He was asking just politely and just nonchalantly, maybe I should pull up to Wano and just take everybody out. Like, I don't believe he could have done that, but the fact that he was just so ready to do it, like, that's kind of tough. I don't know. But also, one of the things I also wanted to say, which I feel like was kind of confirmed in 1091. At the end of 1090, Luffy's like, hold on guys, someone really strong is here. And everybody was talking about how, since the chapter was called Kizaru, that's who Luffy was talking about. Luffy was sensing Kizaru on the island. I didn't believe that. That's not the impression that I got, and for a couple reasons. One, Luffy's not afraid to fight the admirals. In addition to that, Luffy has just outright stated many times, I am never running from an admiral ever again. Like, Sabaody changed him. Sabaody was the one time in the entire, well, not the only time, because he did it again in Marineford, like, but it was the first time in the entire story Luffy was like, maybe we should just get out of here, maybe it's not worth, you know, I really want to fight people, but like, I'm not Goku, like, I understand that we need to get away sometimes, and we're just not ready to fight these guys. And also, that's the thing that I liked about pre-time skip One Piece too. Periodically, they would just jump people, and Sabaody was no different. Like, Sabaody, they were up against all those pacifistas, and an admiral, like, oh yeah, they were jumping everybody. It didn't matter, because they weren't ready, but like, if worse comes to worse, the Straw Hats crew, like, they will run the ones first, but like, if one person is injured or if they're just fighting a losing battle, oh, they're jumping you, and you know, they're not even gonna think twice about that, okay? Which is why I'm so curious as to why Kizaru thinks that he's not in danger. Like, Luffy can probably run the ones with him. I'll even give him this. Luffy is not yet strong enough to beat Kizaru. Do I believe that? I don't think so. I think that he probably is at least on par to like, at least like high diff him, you know? But let's say that he's flat out just not as strong as Kizaru. Do you think Luffy's gonna try to run the ones with Kizaru for more than like 15 minutes before somebody else is like, all right, Luffy, we gotta get out of here. Like, we're jumping him, okay? I'm sorry. Like, you tried beating him in 15 minutes. It's not working. We gotta get out of here. They've got us surrounded. This whole island's about to blow up. Like, Kizaru is strong, but if Luffy, Zoro, and Sanji just jump him, he's not making it. Dude, he's getting stomped. I'm sorry. It's not even a controversial statement. He is going to get stomped out if those three jump him. And that's not even include Jinbei. What if Jinbei just decides, you know, I think I want to fight an admiral too. Those 4 against Kizaru, come on, Kizaru's gonna have to run. He's getting stomped out. But anyway, I'm trying to think if there's anything else in this chapter that's funny that happened. Let's see. I was right about Boa Hancock. Luffy's talking to the Gorosei, giving him his full name, address, and social security number. Think that's about all I want to talk about in 1090. Oh no, I'm sorry. Before we go on, in 1090 also we learned that Lucci is in communication communication with the Marines outside. So he's surprise, surprise, he's a hoe. He's been hoeing the entire time. I don't think anybody was surprised, but it's like 1091 actually surprised me more, which is why I can't wait to get into that. So I'm just going to end 1090 by saying Lucci is feeding all of the information that he's learned about the Straw Hats and Vegapunk while they are inside the lab to the outside Marines and letting them know how they can sneak in, yeah, all that stuff. Anyway, 1091. Oh, one more thing before actually we get to 1091. I don't remember if this is in 1090 or 1091, but Bonnie was talking about Sanji, and she was like, God, that guy's so great. He's a good fighter and he's a good cook. And Luffy's face was hilarious. Luffy was like, what are you talking about? Why are you acting like this? You were just crying a few minutes ago. Which people have pointed out that could be because Bonnie is actually one of the Blackbeard pirates, which is a good point. We still have no idea what that ship outside of Egghead, like we just got a snapshot of a Blackbeard pirate ship outside of Egghead. We still don't know what that means. So Bonnie could be an imposter. For that matter, a lot of people could be imposters. But I bring this up because I thought it was funny, because when Bonnie's like, yeah, that guy Sanji's really great, the look that Luffy gives, like his face is just like, he's my cook. You know, like, why don't you just stick to the mission, all right? Why don't we all focus on getting off this island and you leave my cook alone, okay? Why don't we all just stay focused, all right, Bonnie? I just thought that was funny. Anyway, sorry. Okay, so on to 1091. So in 1091, it starts off with Kizaru fighting Sentomaru, okay? That fight lasts maybe 5 minutes. I don't think anyone expected it to last much longer. I think we get like a mini flashback of how Sentomaru, Kizaru, and Vegapunk met up with each other, which is an interesting thing also because it looks like Kizaru, Vegapunk, and Sentomaru, like, they were running around like they were Team 7. Like, that's kind of crazy, like, that they're actually this close with each other, and that these events would be transpiring on Egghead Island now with the same group of people. It's just, I don't know, I feel like there's a story that's gonna be unfolding as we go on with these chapters, but I would also like to call attention to the fact that, again, Kizaru's not really good at emoting. Like, I don't know, I'm sure that if Oda gives him a dramatic backstory, I'm sure it could be maybe sad or maybe give more context, but Kizaru really just seems like he's just doing stuff. I cannot get a read on this guy. I truly cannot. It just seems like he smokes every day before he goes to work, but he's still outperforming everybody on the shift. Like, it's crazy, but I don't know. I can't wait to see him actually fight. We really need to see what Kizaru can actually do. But anyway, he quickly deals with Sentomaru. And after that, of course, because of the way the Seraphim chain of command works, that means that all of the Seraphim are back under the Navy's control, and also all of the Pacifista and yada yada yada, all that. Back inside the lab, Vegapunk is directing people, letting them know what to do and how we can get off the island. And that's when Lucci, of all people, does the finger pistol thing, and Stussy has to jump in the way, and so Stussy's down. And right there, okay, so Lucci just does his finger pistol thing, and Stussy's down and out. And immediately, literally as soon as that happens, Sanji grabs Nami's bubblegum and traps Kaku. I think let me explain why this is so funny, okay? Because Sanji is constantly the person, like, he has his dumb moments, but it's only with women. Like, in every other situation, Sanji is strategically, like, looking at different possibilities for how the Straw Hats can either make a strategic exit or how they can make use of everything that they have in the room. Sanji has done that so many times. He did it in Water 7 and Innie's Lobby, both at Water 7 and Innie's Lobby, when he followed Robin to the train, and in Innie's Lobby when he made sure the gates of justice opened or closed or whatever he did. He was the only person to think that far ahead. So imagine Sanji in this situation. You're smart enough to realize you're looking at Lucci and Kaku like these are some hoes. They're going to hoe us eventually. I should be ready for when that happens. And lo and behold, like Lucci does it, of course, and then Sanji just without hesitation, he traps him in a bubble gun. I also think that it's really interesting that Sanji didn't heat up as soon as Stussy went down, because that's like his whole thing, like, oh, you hit a lady, prepare to, be dealt with. But he doesn't lose his cool. He grabs Nami's bubblegum, traps Kaku, and he's like, it's almost like this was his plan immediately. Like if any of these people does anything even slightly sketchy, I'm trapping the giraffe in a bubble. Like he had that plan. That's so funny to me. So anyway, Lucci reveals his true colors, and then he starts trying to attack everybody else, and Zoro's line here kills me. It's so funny. He attacks and Zoro blocks it, and he's like, okay, so I guess you were just waiting for backup to grow a spine, which cuts me. Like, that hurt me, hearing Zoro say that to Lucci, because I know, like, Lucci's a hoe, he's an assassin, but for the most part, like, he liked being, like, this grand, like, imposing villain. He likes knowing that he's the strongest person in the room, and Lucci knows beyond a shadow of a doubt that is not the case in this situation. So Zoro's words cut so deep to him. I know that it does, and you can see it in his face if you go back to that panel. Lucci's like, look, it's over for you guys. Now that Kizaru's here, there's no way you can take us both. And I was just thinking, like, I just don't know where you're getting that math, that logic. Like, why could they not take care of you and Kizaru? Who told you it would be difficult? Like, this is about to be such a rude awakening for Lucci. Like, because you can see, like, it's in Zoro's face, it's in Sanji's face. Like, everybody's just like, I mean, if you want to do this, like, I mean, I could beat your ass, then Sanji could beat your ass, and then if you want, we can bring Jinbei in here. But, like, you can run the gauntlet and just get your ass whooped a solid 3 times before you even run the ones with our goofy captain again. So, like, if you want to do this, that's fine. But I promise you are not... Robin could beat you at this point in the story, okay? I don't know, like, maybe that's lowballing you, but to be honest, I don't know, man. He's just about to get such a rude awakening. And then, the way to cap this off, the way this chapter ends, they're getting away, and Kizaru, like I said, Kizaru dealt with Sentomaru, and so he catches up with Luffy and them, so he's, like, straggling behind them a little bit as they're running away. Luffy, this crazy ass crackhead, jumps off as they're escaping, and then he's like, hey. And then Kizaru's like, hey. And then without hesitation, Luffy just kicks him and engages him in battle. He's like, hey, I have no idea why you thought this was a good idea, Kizaru, but we're 100 times stronger than we were back on Sabaody, okay? So this is just not gonna go the way that you think. I love Luffy so much in Egghead, man. He is saying everything that I would say if I were him, and he's saying that we would expect. Of course, he's not afraid of Kizaru, okay? That's what I was saying when I first read 1090. Like, he is not afraid to run the ones with an admiral. He's not afraid to run the ones with this entire fleet. But Kizaru's still cool. Kizaru's just like, all right, wow, as cheeky as ever. Okay, I guess we're doing this now. So Kizaru and Luffy are about to fight. And Lucci's about to get the dog shit beat out of him. By Zoro, by Sanji, by really anyone who wants to jump in. I don't see him being able to do much of anything. For one thing, he's still surrounded in that lab. Like, I can't remember if they moved the fight outside or not, but God, it just does not matter. I do not understand what Lucci thinks he's going to accomplish, but I cannot wait for him to realize the true depth of the error that he has just made. I think that's about it for the official review. Let's go over some theories that I have now. Okay, so like I mentioned before, the Blackbeard pirates, God, that is just, at this point, that should be the most dangerous thing that we have in the back of our minds. Like, 1 or 2 of them are there. Could be more. Who knows, okay? I am so interested in getting more clues whether or not Bonnie is actually in disguise or it's somebody else. Like, some people said maybe it could be Robin or Kaku. I don't know. We don't have any clues on that. I'm not gonna put forth. It's just so interesting, and man, I don't know. My observation hockey's not kicking in this time. I had future sight last time, but this time I don't even have a goofy prediction to make. I have no idea. I'm just anxious because, you know, every time the Blackbeard pirates are on the screen, they are hoeing, and it has dramatic ramifications on the story at large. So I just hope that whatever happens, I hope they don't get what they want, because they just keep getting what they want, and oh my God. See, another thing, this isn't a theory, I'm just curious about this. Where is Law? Like, is Law gonna meet up with the Straw Hats? Is he going to Elbaf? Like, we're going to Elbaf. For that matter, where's Kid? You know, obviously Shanks didn't kill him, but you know, these are all outside things that are not directly involved with Egghead, but we need answers to them, okay? We need answers to those things too. So yeah, I think it's just the main things that I'm anxious about, really the only thing I'm anxious about is, like, what are the Blackbeard pirates up to? What are they doing on Egghead? What's going on? Hopefully Oda gives us some more hints about that. But yeah, I still do not understand what the Marines are expecting to accomplish here. It's obvious they're just still underestimating the Straw Hats. I just hope that in the coming chapters, everybody understands that you need to send more than one admiral after this crazy crackhead. It's not like how it was pre-time skip, because if they jump Kizaru, that is gonna be a 2-panel fight. I swear to God, that'll be like 2 panels. I'll give him 3 panels. I'll give him 3 panels, but that's it. If they jump Kizaru, it's over, man. It's not gonna make it past like the next chapter. It really isn't. You know, with Luffy running the ones with him, that's gonna be interesting. We're gonna see where that goes. Other than that, that's about all that I have to say about it. I'm really excited, really excited to see where the story goes, obviously. But thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for tuning into this chapter review. The next video is going to be on the One Piece live action, so make sure to get all of your opinions ready for that. You're going to get the full review of all of Season 1. It should drop later on this week as well, so be on the lookout for that. But yeah, go ahead and let me know in the comments anything that I missed in this review so we can discuss it. Let me know what you think about the chapter 1090 and chapter 1091, and just anything that you're anxious about, like I might be, or anything that you're excited about. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being interested, and I cannot wait to see you in the next one.